1644 question mark. Good luck. So provisional rating for our opponent, but it's not a new account, but they're actually provisional in everything. That's a bit unusual. It's a bit unusual. So it's somebody maybe played a long time ago, then they've just left their account. So there might not be a 1600 level player. We'll play at least a few moves and we'll find out, and then we'll decide if we're going to play the rest of the game or not. We're just developing our bishop and getting it outside of the pawn chain here. Then this one can come up something like this. Then we'll look to castle. Let's go here, charge this bishop. They drop back, so we will castle. Okay, now what do I want to do? I think I'll just play rook across. I'm looking at just immediate c5 or b6 and c5. They're the moves I'm kind of looking at. But maybe just push here as well. Yeah, let's bring the knight up. Normally you'd ideally like the pawn and then the knight behind the pawn, but I'm going to try and challenge in the center, I think. Kicks the bishop, we can drop back. They can obviously go cautiously and drop back this way if they wish. They've chosen not to do that. Okay. What to do, what to do. I wonder whether to even just sack a pawn here, drop back. I could take here, but I don't like the look of that. Let's just chuck a pawn up the board. Okay, I'm just going to chuck the pawn further up the board. He castles. I don't think I'm really playing against a 1600 level player, just got to be honest. These moves seem a little bit good for someone with a 1640 level rating. Let's just see how it pans out. We are potentially threatening to sack, but obviously it's a solid defense right now for white. We can then drop back somewhere or other and chuck a pawn. We can maybe just sack a pawn now, but the knight would be hanging. Here, I guess you've got queen takes, so that's just a free pawn. Although here, queen takes, sack another pawn, rook across. Maybe it's some development. Maybe. The knight's gone back to be ultra cautious. Might be time to take here then, although it's again really dangerous, isn't it? Really dangerous. I guess I could go here then. Takes, takes, queen takes, back. I'm going to do that actually. I'm going to play knight forward and try and get rid of this bishop and just sack a pawn. Go for something more long-term by coming in, if we can. So it's a pawn off right now. Takes, takes, queen takes, bishop back. I don't think the queen's getting trapped. So it goes for it. So takes, back. The queen does have a square here. But I'm going to play it anyway. So the queen's got a path here. Charge my queen. The knight protects. The bishop protects. Just looking at, have I got anything useful to avoid the queen trade? But there's a square here. There might even be a better move like bishop takes first and then move across or something. So that's a move as well, of course. That's what our opponent's gone for. It gives us a chance though to bring a pawn into the center. So we've lost a bishop, gain a queen. Lost a queen, gain a bishop, but I don't like the look of that. I like the idea actually just calmly bring a pawn into the center. The queen can go across to 2 squares now, and then we can maybe shuffle this way. But we've got to be careful with the knight getting forward. We are a pawn down though, aren't we? We've sacked a pawn, so we're a pawn down. We'd ideally like to sack this one as well, but I don't see that being feasible. But here, I'm looking at queen across to get onto this file, but I'm also looking at f6 to try and deal with a knight jump. It's risky. I mean, maybe you can just push here, but queen across if knight in or pawn down. I guess we come back. Yeah, I'm going to play queen across. The queen trade might have been better there. I might have to bail out and go for that. But pawn down now, we can go here and hit the knight. But I guess you just simply play knight up. Trade, and it's still a pawn. But then maybe our knight might get in. We go here, we threaten a check. That's what our opponent has gone for. So is there any benefit to sacking the bishop? Here, lose the bishop, check. You have to go here. Queen up, but we're not actually getting in, are we? Here, you just simply go there. So on that basis, I think we need to drop the bishop back. Yeah, we might need to try and bail out and go for a queen trade. We might need to try that. But knight across to threaten a check. Actually, knight across now threatens actually checkmate, doesn't it? That would be a mate threat. I mean, you can easily guard it with the knights, but it's a threat. Okay, let's create it then, because we threaten checkmate. But either knight can stop it. But the pieces would cut the king's escape. So there is a mate threat there. But that's basically all. Is just a one move threat. So I think either knight here, and it seems fine for white. Okay, so that's what our pawn has done. Now we mustn't move the pawn and lose our queen. So check. Takes. Are we then threatening a sacrifice? Maybe. Or do we just chuck this one? I think we do. Obviously he's going to fly down the board, so he only needs 2 moves, but we can do this or this. Or I can go here. Or I can check first. Or do I just push and ignore it? Push here, check, take. I think I do actually. I think I just ignore it and push the pawn. I've got 1 square here for the bishop if needed. But I'm kind of committed now. But I'm threatening just to take and rip the king's defences open. But yeah, I think my pawn is stronger than the rating. That's the problem when you play anybody with a provisional rating, because it looks like the provisional in everything, which means they might have been sitting on the account for years. It could have been someone who played this, like it's the 4-year account. Might not have played for 2 or 3 years. But we're threatening just to take the pawn here and get straight direct to the king. I guess we could take on a3 as well, but c3 is obviously the more direct route. That's what we're aiming for. So if you play down, I think we just kind of ignore it and take. We have a square here, but I don't think we play that. We just take. If you take... If we take and you take back, maybe it's actually nothing. Maybe we've got nothing. So down, we might need to go here first. And then we're still threatening to take, but our bishop, as soon as your knight moves, you hit the bishop anywhere. Chosen to take it. Now, I thought I'd come in here and I open the file up, right? Because you can't move your king, you have to take. So we take and we threaten to crash in. That was what my idea was. And now my bishop can go here if you push. So I'd already seen that square. So I guess we go here now, hit the pawn, and rook here we can actually take it. Maybe it's good for white. Maybe it's good for white because we've sacked, haven't we? So 5, 1, 2, 3. Well, we're 3 pawns down. Oh, 6. We've got 6. We're 2 pawns down. 2 rooks and a knight, 2 rooks and a bishop. So now we can gain one of our pawns back. The king's trying to run. But if we take one, we're threatening to take another. Now he's gone there where we expected, but we can come here now and pin the knight. And then we're threatening to win another pawn here, trade here, win another pawn, and we've suddenly got this one advanced. So what happens? The pawns come up. So if I check... I think I probably have to push, probably. But if I check, you go here. Maybe I can then come back here. Can I just go here immediately, I'm wondering. I wonder if I've just got queen here immediately, because you can't protect your knight. But yeah, I guess you can with this. I guess you can with that. No, let's just grab the pawn then. I'd expect king across, and then... This is problematic. I'm looking at going here, but now this pawn is loose. If I go here and take, the queen's getting in. Problems everywhere. Everywhere. I probably have to go here right now. I think I kind of have to. Then I'm going to have to go back and get my queen back. I need 2 moves to get here. But that knight could be really tricky now. Maybe sack the rook. The knight could win the game. There's a pawn here as well, but right now we'd win the knight. Queen here could just win the game. That could be it. So that could be the key there. Grab that pawn. They don't do it. So there is actually a pawn here now. And then I think I can trade off. So I think I've got queen here. Make use of the pin. And then we can trade everything here. And I think I'm back in the game. Yeah, the knight can't move now. I think queen takes pawn might have been winning there. We'll check it after the game. But you can see I'm playing somebody fundamentally a very good player, very good. I think now I'm just simply intending to trade here. Trade the queen and bishop for queen and knight. We're suddenly a pawn up, I think. I think we're a pawn up, but it's more about our king's safety. We're kind of stuck in a back rank net. So we might actually be still worse. We might still be worse off here. Oh, mind you, I can grab this pawn. I can take queen takes and grab this valuable pawn. Is there anything better? Take queen takes, grab the pawn, but then you're going to get your rook active, and I've lost my chance to trade the queen. Or we can trade the queen as well, go here. But I'm probably going to lose this, and my king is just stuck. But either way, I need to take here. I've got to take there, so we'll take. But I think it might be wise to grab this pawn. Otherwise, how do I get my king out? Because even if I play, say, trade now, f6 or f5, I've got a square for my king, but this rook is permanently defending. But I can grab this now. But then your rook's going to get active here. I want the queen off the board. I really want to take. So trade. Maybe I play rook to the open file. Threatening a check. I'm going to take. I'm going to go for it. Okay, they've only got one move while they're thinking. Then if rook comes here, I can go here. But I've got to get my king out of this back rank. I'm in a mating net right now. And here is a bit of a problem still. So if I run my king, maybe this, and it still keeps us kind of stuck. So opponent's done that, but now I thought I got rook here. So one rook guards another, but I could potentially go with the pawn as well. But I think I go with the rook. And then as long as I'm not in the one move back rank mate, then I think I'm all right. I think. Okay, here. I'm looking at check, but this pawn could become fast. We want this. But I could go here. Oh, I guess you just block. Okay, let's just push the pawn then. If I could get this pawn, but I've still got to get my king out of this mating net first, I think. If I push this pawn, this just collapses. Yeah, opponent spotted it and they've gone for it, but can I go here now? What's he got there? We just trade and I collect, right? I think I've got it for one move. Because I can spend 2 moves getting my king out. I think. So I'm threatening to win this valuable pawn. Yeah, he's played that rook move. But trade, collect, and with only one rook there, we should be winning now. We should be. So they swap off. They're going to swap off, so I'll have to bring my king out. But maybe I can actually push here now. Actually, I guess I go there, but I can't stop you going here, can I? I'm going to launch the pawn and trust that my king is okay. The risk is if this rook ever gets down here, that's a problem. But if these trade off, I think I'm doing all right. I think. Mind you, take here. I still might have to go with this pawn. If this opens up, you might have a check here and a check here. But I'm 1 square off a queen. Okay, the pawn has come forward, so I'm going to have to move my king. I don't think I can risk going there, so I'm going to have to try and get active and hope that these trade off. Then I can hopefully be active in the end game, but not sure. So I think I go here now, right? I think I have to push here. And I'm going to at least have an extra pawn in the end game, so I can't afford to take the rook and I've got to go with a pawn. But now this has to be winning, yeah. Because I can go here and fix this and then come in. So this is winning now. Should be winning because, yeah, I can collect in and I can drop back. So we just take back and we can run another pawn. You have to concede ground. So we step up. Yeah, just push here. Should be easy now. Yeah, should be. Let's see how it was played in engine language there. You're just -12 for our opponent, so let's just see what it was in engine speak. We have 49 moves. They're the move times for both players. The Queen's Pawn game accelerated London system, but it felt like my opponent was better than 1600. Played a decent game, that's what it felt like, certainly through the opening phase. So let's just see how it actually was. Yeah, they shouldn't really let people with provisional ratings play in the arena tournaments because the ratings by definition are just not active at that time, not established. So they shouldn't really be playing in the arenas. Just my personal opinion, of course. So we have been much better here. +6 and blundered it back to level. So we've had a very big advantage there. Move 26. Even move 29 there. We're much better. We blundered it basically back to level. So we've played a decent game fundamentally. 92 and 87 on the accuracy. Not that many moves are actual mistakes. So there must be some bad ones. So let's see. See, the first one we're looking at there is this move 12. So we're just going to flick through. Yeah, so here I should have blasted in the center instead of developing the queen. But knight back was an actual blunder. But it's still only 0.9 for us, 0.9. So knight forward was actually good. So this was all good. And queen across instead of trading was good. Should have pushed the pawn here. Excuse me. Break the center up, I guess. I guess I'd probably play knight here. Yeah, knight across, what I would do. Because then if you take, we can take back. Dangerous position, dangerous position. Then g4, bold move. We're now suddenly +2 and we build a big advantage here, but then we blundered it away. Excuse me. I'm still a little bit croaky, a little bit of allergy season still left for us. So this was all good. But I shouldn't have taken the pawn there. I should have played the bishop in to attack the rook, as you can see. Should have done that first. Okay. Bishop c2, the rook goes to c1, and then we just calmly drop the bishop back here. And I guess if the rook goes here, we throw a back rank check in and we win the rook. So here, you kind of have to go here. Then we come here and we're stopping the king running. And I guess we could even put the bishop here. Yeah, I missed that concept. That's strong, isn't it? That's strong. And I should have played the same move here. So I've missed the concept of the king escaping. And there, I shouldn't have taken that pawn. Shouldn't have taken the pawn there. Should have played queen to c4 to stop the king escaping. Well, actually, go to c4. It creates a mate threat as well, doesn't it? I guess if knight goes back, we just take the rook. Ooh, that's why it's 6.4, and I just didn't see it. And here, okay, so king up was played there. So that was good. So it wasn't a thing to just take here. Because my idea was this, and then queen here. Here takes, and I guess we're in time to come back. But then the bishop would be hanging as well. Not sure, not sure. Then here, yeah, I should have just played rook across instead of taking. So this is where we come back to level. So these are the moves sequence where we've gone wrong. But queen f3 was still a good move. And it's rook to b8 I should have done instead of c8. But then my opponent gets the open file. Ooh, I don't like that. It just gives rook to b8 instead of c8. Okay, rook c1 was good. And then my opponent shouldn't have gone to b1 there. They should have just traded. I guess the difference is this pawn is still on the board, isn't it? Say we take with this, you can get behind it, but you've still got this one. Yeah, and it's very, very close, but that's the losing blunder. We've managed to convert well and calculate this out well. And it's now just basically a forced win with correct play, which doesn't happen, of course, all the time. But here, thankfully, we converted well. But tough game, tough game. So I'll play it.